loss surgery peeps. Well, it's Sunday and I'm out on a walk. I have decided to try and get some walks in. This is a big deal for me because I walk with a cane and I walk in a lot of pain, but I'm really trying to incorporate that before my surgery. I thought I would come back and talk a little bit about some of the tests I had before I got approved, because I mentioned it as jumping through a lot of hoops, but I decided that it would be better for the people I'm trying to help if I talked about some of them in depth. First of all, I went to my doctor very concerned about my weight because my pain management doctor had been after me to lose weight for a long time, because it's like a catch-22. I need to lose the weight to be able to move. I need to move in order to be able to lose the weight. And she actually suggested weight loss surgery to me, which blew my mind, because I just it had never occurred to me that I could be that person who would do that. I mean, I knew a lot about it. Anyone who's probably overweight or has been overweight for any length of time probably knows about it. I thought that it was for a much heavier person, but that has to do with my denial about how much I weighed. Anyway, once I got interested, I went to a seminar given by the surgeon, and I also had found out that my surgeon is one of the ones he's been doing the sleeve, for example, for 9 years, and he is really well versed in weight loss surgery. He studied with the person, it turns out, who originated the sleeve at Mount Sinai in New York, and it's just got a great reputation, and that's important, of course. Well, I really went to that one seminar, and it was very clear to me by the end of that seminar that it was the vertical sleeve gastrectomy that I wanted. I actually was the person that raised my hand and said, "Is there dumping with the sleeve?" And he had to admit there really wasn't, not for the most part. I don't think he wanted to stress that, because he's really big on making sure you eat a really nice, clean diet after the surgery that's very low in carbs and stuff. So he wasn't going to advertise that fact. But dumping just sounded awful to me. I mean, I already have a lot of physical ailments, and I just didn't need to worry that I was going to feel like I was going to die one day because of a small thing I ate. By the same token, I wanted to be responsible for what I ate, and the fact that the opening and closing of the stomach stayed the same, that left the responsibility in my hands with no malabsorption. So moving right along, I then went to my first consultation with my doctor, and he agreed when he spoke with me that I was an ideal candidate for weight loss surgery based on what he had heard from my primary care physician about my inability to be very active in life due to my physical ailments. He said something that scared the bejesus out of me, and especially my husband, and that was that he could see me progressing to the point where I was in a wheelchair and then an early death. That was really all my husband had to hear for him to support me 100% in this surgery.
Hear, hear.
So I'll probably come back and show you the drawing of a truck to explain it. He drew a truck for me at this thing. At first I was looking at him like, say what? You know, I was almost going to shut down, because he drew a very simplistic truck like a 4-year-old would draw. But then he explained something about the 2 tanks in the truck that was a real major aha moment for me, and made me understand why low carb is so important to the weight loss after the surgery. He explained that your initial tank for energy is sugar and carbs. You've got protein and water coming in to feed your cells and feed your muscles. And if the carbs run out, that's the only time when your body's going to turn to the fat tank and start drawing on that. If you even put over, say, 30-40 grams of carbs a day, it's not going to do that. Well, that was an aha moment for me, and that kind of explained why my dieting hasn't tended to work that well, because I didn't really like counting stuff. I counted calories, and I'm really good at that. I use an app, and I wouldn't lose, and now I'm seeing that my carbs are probably too high. So that was a great part of that. He then gave me a really long list of things that I was going to need to do, and I just went home totally motivated, started calling to make appointments, and I made my appointments for all my pre-op tests. These included, I had a sleep test for apnea. This was something I had been planning to do for some time anyway. as my brother has apnea, and he told me that if I did have it, that the machine, ghastly as it is, would make a big difference in my life. I was diagnosed with apnea. The sleep test is pretty funny. I mean, because you go in there thinking that there's no way you're going to be able to sleep with all of those, the wires and things all over you, but lo and behold, you do. Oops, sounds like someone's car alarm is going on. So I think I'll turn this off until it stops.